we know that's a little bit easier said than done. Sometimes that's challenging because maybe some of you guys already live, walking distance from a shul, and then now we're talking about maybe find another community, and that's on the other side, that where you got to drive, and there's layers, and we get it. My point is, you have to trust Hashem. Mm-hmm. Trust Hashem, do a lot of praying, and allow Hashem just to kind of just orchestrate your steps, and here's the thing, you just got to take it one day at a time in this journey.
And that's what I was gonna say too, really quick, is that maybe that's Hashem's way of telling you that you need to uproot and go somewhere else. Like that's maybe. Not, if things aren't connecting right, then you're probably not supposed to be in that particular community. That Hashem has something, for you somewhere else, and that you are supposed to maybe take this next level of faith and rely on him more, exactly. Right? Because sometimes he'll cause, situations to happen. You're wondering, you're like, well, I'm in a community right now, but things aren't really happening how it should. Well, maybe you need to go to another place and just trust Hashem that he's got you, right? Yeah. That what he knows is going to be best for you. And just remember that sometimes what we always think is best for us is not always the case.
Correct,
right?
Correct.
So.
And that's kind of tying back to what we were talking about of really trusting God, and being willing to just step out on faith and not necessarily having everything together. Like our natural mind say, I have to have everything together. Faith says, Hashem, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to do my effort, which is in Hebrew is hishtadlut. I'm going to do my effort. And then the rest of it, I trust you. I know you got me. Mm-hmm. Right? And so like she said, sometimes people just got to uproot and leave. That's what we did. It didn't make, and then listen, you may not want to do that, and we're not telling anybody to leave your house, leave your mortgage. We're not telling anybody to do that, right? Nothing. We're just telling you what we did. What we did was we trusted Hashem. It didn't really make a lot of sense for us financially, but we said, this is our life mission. We're converting to Judaism. We didn't want to put it off no more. And so we said, let's just go to this community and let's move, right? We did our part, and Hashem literally just worked everything out for us. We trust
everything.
Him. The amount that you believe that Hashem will show up for you is the amount that he will do it. Mm-hmm. You believe that he'll show up 100% in your life, he'll show up 100% in your life. Mm-hmm. If you believe that he'll only show up 25%, 50%, that's going to be the level of faith in which he meets you there.
Exactly. Yep. Which makes sense of why he did so much for us when we made the decision to just do what we did. I mean, even some people were a little bit concerned when we were like, hey, they were like, when you're moving? And we told them when we were moving. And they're like, did you find a place yet? And it was literally 1 week until we were supposed to be finding a place. And we were like, nope, we didn't find a place yet. And they're like, you're not concerned a little bit? And we're like, no, Hashem's got us. Something will pop up. Something will, because there wasn't anything like popping up in the community that was available and open for us. And so we were like, we're not concerned. The next week we come, there's a place that's open up, available for us to look at, and boom, we're in that place now, right? So
crazy. We had crazy faith, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, so talking about communities. So now within this whole transition is, again, finding the rabbi, right? Yeah. And so when I was connecting with Yehuda, he was able to connect me with the rabbi of this particular shul. And what we did was we sent them an email, right? So our friend asked the rabbi if he can get the email to send it. The rabbi said yes. So we wrote a long email letting him know our situation, so on and so forth. And then the very next morning, he reached back out and responded. And said, hey, we'd love to chit chat with you guys. Let's meet on this day. Mm-hmm. Set up a meeting. Yep. And that was the start of getting into the community, right? We're talking about next steps. From there, he said, okay. So our rabbi is asking us questions. Of course he's asking us questions, just to make sure we're all clear. Our rabbis, he asked us, he's like, okay, you don't have to convert to Judaism. Right? You don't have to. You can commit to
righteous Noahide.
You can be a righteous Noahide. You can live according to the 7 laws of Noah, and you're good to go. You have a place in the world to come. You're good. Right? But our rabbi asked us that just to really make sure that we've covered all our grounds, that we've really considered living as Noahides. right? Did we really consider that? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
But why do you want to take on this Torah? Why do you 613? What you mean? But 613, 7. 613, 7. You know, and so we explained our hearts, we shared why, and so on and so forth. And then from there, he said, okay, here's what you need to do. You need to now contact the Beit Din. This is the Jewish court. And this Jewish court are the ones who are facilitating basically the conversion. These are the ones that you're going to have to sit before. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to sit before this Beit Din, which is usually 3 men, and they start the process with you. Mm-hmm. And you know, I don't want to go into too much depth or detail, but they're asking you questions. They're getting to know you. It's almost like an interview, mm-hmm. right? And this process can be any length of time. I'll say that. It can be any length of time. There's no set. It's not just a year. It's not just 2 years. Not just 5. No, it can be any length of time based on what? Based on whatever Hashem says. Mm-hmm. That's it. Hashem decides when the whole thing is going to start, when the whole thing is going to stop.
Yeah.
Okay? So he told us to reach out to the Beit Din.
We did that.
We did. Set up our meetings. And we filled out paperwork. And we got everything going. And then we've had multiple meetings throughout this past 2 years. It's been 2 years since our process. And it's been great. Mm-hmm. You know, it's been great. You know, is it lengthy? Yes. It shouldn't be just like an overnight thing. Like, yeah, I want to convert to Orthodox Judaism. All right, cool. Here we go. You're in there. No. It should be a learning, an unlearning, a study. There's lots of studying involved, right?
And you have to think, because of it's such a serious thing to have a second chance at life. Like, you're having a second chance at renewing your entire life, if that makes sense, right? Because, you know, like, once we convert, like, we're now responsible. Like, we can, like, transgress now, you know what I mean, after that. And it's like, that's why you want to make sure things are right, that you're right. And you have to think the Beit Din, they are like a vessel from Hashem, right? They're vessels. It's not that they're responsible of like making the full decision, but they are the vessel that Hashem is using to have the final say so. But Hashem is using them to, you know, orchestrate when he thinks it's time for us to finish this conversion, and based off of certain factors. So I always say, I'm like, yes, the Beit Din is saying, okay, this meeting and this meeting, but ultimately it is Hashem that knows exactly the timing.
So
when it's perfect for you and for your family.
That's it. Yeah. And so then one of the main things that the Beit Din wanted to know is about our kids, specifically our 2 older kids. And basically the next steps were to enroll them in a Jewish school. So it was important for them to start learning and getting acclimated with becoming Jewish. One of the pillars of Jewish life is an education. Your children's education is everything. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we did. We enrolled our kids into Hebrew schools, and it's been great. And it's been a journey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and anything is going to be something that's new, is always going to be some type of adjustment. Like, you know, of course our kids didn't just come into this of like, everything is great, like, in a sense of it was as best as it could be, right, starting off, but meaning they had to adjust. They went from homeschool to now a school environment. They went not only from a homeschool to a school environment, but a homeschool to a Jewish school, right? So then while they're adding in Judaic classes, not just their, you know, regular classes. So, you know, just to see and prepare your kids and your family for that, you that's important. You have to be ready to prepare them for that. But we couldn't be any happier to have our kids in a Jewish school.
Beautiful. Okay, so a little bit more, and we get ready to wrap it up.
Yeah.
So we're in the community. Our kids are in school. So now it's getting involved in the community. Mm-hmm. That's a major thing. And the Beit Din wanted to know. They want to know that. Mm-hmm. Are you getting involved? Are you being accepted within the community? That's very, very important. And how are our kids adapting into the community?
Yeah.
And so within that, we're studying, we're learning. Another big pillar of becoming Jewish and Jewish life is studying and learning. That's especially for a man, right? The biggest thing ever for a man to constantly learn every single day, right? And so we're studying Hebrew, learning how to daven, which means basically you're praying. Very, very important. But studying personal development, right? Mussar, right? Basically, learning ethics and how to become better, character development, right? We really, right at the beginning of our journey, we also started learning Hasidus as well. And we fell in love with Breslev Hasidus, right? So we follow the teachings of Rabbi Nachman, and that's obviously not the case for everybody. Not everybody studies Hasidus, right? But that was something that we were drawn to. Hasidus really allowed us to Hasidus taught us how to find Hashem in every aspect of our day. It really taught us to develop a God awareness.
Yeah.
Throughout our day, and it's been incredible to learn how to really not just read the text, but also how to really open it up, like, you know what I mean? So it's just beautiful. But learning Jewish law, that's everything, right? If we're not learning Jewish law, you don't know how to live as a Jew, period, right? So that's learning the laws of kashrut, that's learning the laws of Shabbat, that's learning the laws of brachas, right? Brachot, learning all that, right? So you got to be learning every single day.
And just to add to really quick, just about community is, you kind of have to put yourself out there. And this is the thing. Our community is so loving, so amazing, because immediately when we got here, it was like Shabbat dinner after Shabbat dinner after Shabbat dinner of invites, right? And that's how it should be. And I really hope and pray that is what is the case for every person who's going through a conversion process, who moves to a community, that they are loved like that they are invited like that, because that is how you develop the friendships. And I would say that's how our friendships really developed. And then also, making sure that we did like meetups. Like, I know me as a wife and a mother, I would do meetups with other parents who have kids and get to know them more, right? So that's important. And having that time even with the women in the community, making sure you come together and do things with the women in the community.
And lastly, we started practicing and started living as Jews, right? Obviously, we haven't converted yet, so there's a lot of things that we can't do and things like that. But we're in the community, so we're learning how to live as a Jewish family.
Yep.
And that means that we're learning how to keep Shabbat. So we're not driving on Shabbats, right? It's a choice that we chose to make. And, obviously we don't keep it 100% and, things like that. But we're learning how to say all of the blessings before we eat, and we're learning how to say our blessings after we eat. So we're learning how to be a Jewish family. Why are we doing that? Because we want to be a Jewish family. So it's important that you start getting in the flow and getting in the motion.
So those are, the key things that we found that, we wanted to share, that we know is important when considering going down this road of becoming an Orthodox Jew, right? That's right. And so hopefully this was helpful. I
hope so.
We really do. Please don't forget to leave any comments if you have any questions.
They never do.
We always love seeing your guys' comments and questions. And again, I always say this because sometimes we get a lot of negativity on our comments as well too. And this is not to, we mentioned things about Christianity. This is not to hurt. We have family members that are Christians. And this is not to have any negative standpoint about it. It's just our perspective. And I always want to tell people, please respect our, choices and decisions. Me and Ladero, we've done a lot of studying. We don't need people to come and evangelize on our page, but just to let us, be happy with the decision that we are making.
Yeah, but they coming though.
They always come.
They always come.
But I always have to say that. I feel like if you just keep saying that,
put the disclaimer out there, man. But we know, especially too after a video like this, like after we talk about Christianity a little bit, right? There's like keywords or something that people they just kind of attract and come in there. But it's okay, you know. There's certain listen. If you look at the comments, there's certain comments we respond to, right? Because there's some. Listen, we appreciate the loving Christians. Thank you.
Yeah,
so we appreciate
we have loving Christians.
Oh my gosh, there's been people that comment that are just they have such beautiful hearts and they're peaceful. And I was talking to somebody today in our Instagram inbox, and they're just so nice. So we appreciate you, right? Where you don't try to convert us, you don't try to say nasty things, and like you just talk and communicate. There's people that all different walks of life that we communicate and we connect with. We appreciate you, and we love conversing with you, and we can have conversations anytime. So we love you guys, and we love you. Thank you to our viewers, all of our supporters, and a big shout out to Team Elevate, which is our membership club. Yes. We love you guys so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. You are awesome. You're amazing. And it means so much to us.
Absolutely.
So if you like videos like this, please make sure that you leave a like, drop a comment in there, and subscribe to our channel so that you can be in the loop of every single thing that we put out. And if you want to take it a step further, you can turn on notifications so every time we post a video, you get notified. And if you want to take it to the next level, you want a little bit more, a little bit of extra of the House of Lave, you can sign up to be a part of our membership club where we give extra insights, we give extra teaching, extra videos, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, bloopers,
and extra lives,
yes. And extra life, all those things, right? So check it out. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being amazing, and we'll see you on the next video.